Simple lang po ang question, General Mempin. Nasaan yung 44,000 minus 16,000 na ICT packages? Moving forward, Mr. Chair. General Mempin, I wish to raise questions about the DepEd confidential funds. There is such an AOM number 2024-15. This is dated February 1, 2024. Out of the 150 million confidential funds that were given to DepEd, only 3/4 were utilized. That is equivalent to 112.5 million. Are you aware of this, General Mempin?
I just made aware during the hearing about the confidential fund because I was not directly involved in the...
Okay, but at least you can confirm that in the General Appropriation Act of 2023, DepEd has 150 million budget for confidential fund. You're aware of that?
Yes, ma'am, as member of the EXICO.
And out of 150 million budget for confidential fund, only the first, the second, and the third quarter were utilized. That is equivalent to 112.5 million confidential fund. You're aware of that?
I was made aware of that, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
And sometime in February 2024, nag-issue po si COA ng Audit Observation Memo. Ang sabi po dito, there is such a 75 million disallowance na na-justify po nila later on. And out of this 75 million, however, mayroong 15.54 million pertaining to rewards to informers na hindi pa rin po na-clear because of lack of the necessary supporting documents. Can you please enlighten us on this?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, I was not part of how the confidential fund is being utilized, so I was not aware of the discrepancy, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
I understand. Nevertheless, General Mempin, having spent a long years of career in the military, of course you are aware about what confidential fund is.
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Can you please enlighten us? What do you understand about confidential fund?
Confidential funds are funds allocated for the certain units or organizations for its security, maybe and other in the furtherance of its mandate, particularly those who cannot be gathered through the regular means of acquiring, for example, information.
And how will you differentiate confidential fund from intelligence fund?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, in my opinion, intelligence fund are specifically have program being, although it's not being elaborated, but it has go to the programs of organization, for example, the law enforcement unit, the armed forces, and even the LGUs. While confidential fund has more on flexibility, but as we discussed, there is certain protocol SOPs being followed under the JMC 2015-01, ma'am.
To recap what you said, General Mempin, and please agree with me if I am correct, no? Both have a purpose of addressing the safety and security of the nation. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
However, confidential fund is given to civilian offices. Tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
While intelligence fund is given to military offices. Tama po ba?
military and other law enforcement
Yes.
units, ma'am.
In other words, they have the same purpose, Confidential and Intelligence Fund. That is to take care of the national safety and security. However, magkaibang opisina ang gumagamit. Kapag confidential fund, it is given to civilian offices, at kapag intelligence fund, military and like what you said, law enforcement offices. Tama, General Mempin?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
But we have to share also that under Republic Act 7160, the Local Government Code, the LGUs are given confidential fund as well. They're authorized to have and utilize confidential fund. You must be aware of this because for the longest period of time, nandun po kayo sa Davao, and I understand like any other LGUs, nag-utilize din sila ng kanilang confidential fund. You agree with me?
I don't have the exact information, but I do believe they have. They are using confidential funds in furtherance of their mandate in respective LGUs, ma'am.
Remind lang po natin, Mr. Chair, because this was flashed already in the previous hearings. Ito po yung, should I say, escalation of confidential fund of the City of Davao, starting from 2016, 144 million. 2017, you were already the head of the Task Force Davao, 294 million. And then 2010, nandun na po kayo sa 10th Infantry Division. They have 420 million confidential fund in Davao City. And then 2018, and then 2019 to 2022, consistent na 460 million confidential fund. Napakalaki po nito, General Memphin. Puntahan ko po yung 2017, 294 million. You were the head of Task Force Davao. Pwede po bang malaman how you appreciate the utilization of the 294 million confidential fund?
Again, ma'am, in my to be candid about it, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, I was not aware of how the confidential fund is being utilized or implemented, but I just wanted to report to the body that the LGU of Davao, even before and after my term, is being supported in terms of logistics, meaning our vehicles, the maintenance of vehicles are coming from the LGU, and if there are major activities like gathering, like Kadayawan, Araw ng Davao, all the security elements involved in the securing Davao City and its major events, the LGU is providing support in terms of meals and logistics, meaning fuel to our vehicles, ma'am.
In other words, General Memphin, all the activities that you raised earlier, collaboration with the Muslim communities, information dissemination, meetings with other intelligence units, collaboration with different sectors, presence of patrols, and coordination with other professionals. These are the activities which were supported by that 294 million in 2017.
I have no idea, but because aside from Task Force Davao, there are also members of the Joint Task
But
Force
at least, those activities were part of the expenditures of the 294 million in 2017. Do you agree?
I believe so, ma'am, but I'm not 100% sure.
Thank you. Now let us go to AOM 2024-15. Ito po yung na-mention ko kanina, General Memphin, na Merong disallowance na 75 million. Out of 75 million, the basis of the disallowance of 15.54 million is the lack of supporting documents rewards. Reward to informers. And in response to the AOM, nakatanggap po ang COA ng certification galing sa 4 na AFP officers. 1 is Colonel Moransing, 2 is Lieutenant Colonel Sangdaan, 3 is Colonel Panopio, and 4 is Major General Pahaw. Mayroon pong pinapa-explain ang COA na 15 million. This is about payment of reward to informers, and then in response, nag-submit po ang DepEd ng 4 na certification. General Memphine, can you please enlighten us? What are these certifications all about?
Your Honor, Mr. Chair, the certification that I was asked to coordinate with commanders on the area with regards to the conduct of the Youth Leadership Summit are present here. And I was just asked to get the feedback from these units of the Army in particular of how they conduct the Youth Leadership Summit in their respective area and how effective it in securing or ensuring that these student out of school youth and even indigenous peoples, youth of indigenous peoples are protected, no? Because that's one of the thrust of also of Department of Education, that our youth be able to be a productive citizens of our country.
Thank you. Now let us go to Colonel Boransing. Colonel Boransing, there is a certification here signed by you, I suppose. This is dated January 1, 2024. You are certifying about the 8 activities for the Youth Leadership Summit with 531 participants, as well as information education campaign with 53 activities and 9,428 participants. Do you confirm this?
Colonel Boransing, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I confirm that, Mr. Chair.
I observe that the certification is addressed to whom it may concern. And then at the end of the body, it says, for the commander. Kanino ho ba talaga naka-address itong certification na ito, Colonel?
If I may, Mr. Chair, I'd like to explain about the certification.
Please continue,
Yes,
Mr. Colonel Boransing.
Our job, the First Infantry Division covers the whole of Zamboanga Peninsula and both Lanao provinces.
Mr. Chair, with all due respect, Colonel,
Yes, I was.
I have a limited time, so kindly give a responsive answer to the questions that are being raised. Ang tanong ko po, Colonel, kanino ho ba naka-address itong certification? Sa taas po, to whom it may concern. Sa baba, for the commander.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this was asked by the DepEd, and this is our standard format for
May
all.
we know who in particular in DepEd asked for this certification?
USEC Mempin.
USEC Mempi.
Yes, Mr. Chair. And that is the standard certification because of our multi-stakeholder activities on the ground. A lot of other agencies ask for certifications. Like, for instance, during the Youth Leadership Summits, we get a lot of lecturers from other agencies, and they ask certifications. So this is our standard certifications we issued to all agencies who ask for it.
So-
Colonel, you mentioned about the Youth Leadership Summit.
Yes,
Can you
Mr.
please name some of your resource speakers? during these times?
Yes, Mr. Chair. First of all, we have on criminality, we have resource persons from the Philippine National Police.
Can you please name names?
Yes, we usually have the chief of police of the municipality.
Please be specific, Colonel.
Okay, ma'am. So the ones that conducted the Youth Leadership Summit, ma'am, are line units, infantry battalions under us. So
Kindly
we have,
give names, please.
yes, the chief of police. For example, Mr. Chair, if I may, the Youth Leadership Summit, August 7 to 9 August 2023, conducted in Barangay Poblacion, Madaya, Maging Lanao del Sur.
Mr. Chair, there are 8 Youth Leadership Summit, so at the very least, I'm expecting 8 names who were the resource speakers during that time.
Yes, ma'am. If I may continue to read it, ma'am, it's in the report.
Kindly limit the answer,
Please
Colonel,
continue,
to the
Colonel.
question.
So we
Boransing.
have the municipal mayor of Masio, Lanao del Sur. We have also,
Do you have the date also? Can you please cite the date also?
yes, ma'am. As I earlier said,
Date of YLS and then the resource speaker.
yes, ma'am. As I earlier said, this one is August 7 to 9, 2023. The venue was in Maging, Lanao del Sur. So we have Staff Sergeant Bacquiao, Lieutenant Colonel Miondas. We have Private De La Rosa, Lieutenant Colonel
So how
Siak.
many resource speakers do you have for every Youth Leadership
Um,
Summit?
It depends on the commanders. For instance, in local terrorist groups where in Lanao, it can range anywhere from 5 to 10.
Is that the first, the one dated August? That's your first YSL?
YLS.
YLS.
For 2023, the first one was in May. It was in Zamboanga del Sur province.
2023, the first one was May.
Yes.
And then?
Then we have the second one is 16 June 2023. This was in Lanao del Sur, the municipality of Bubong.
And then the third?
We have July 26 for the 44th Infantry Battalion in Cabasalan, Zamboanga, Sibugay Province, Mr. Chair. Then we
fifth?
have July 29 in the Digkilaan National High School, Iligan City.
Sixth?
Then on September 29, we have in Barangay Pugan, Concepcion, Misamis Occidental. Then December 12, we had in Barangay D1, Dipolog City, Zamboanga del Norte. And as I earlier mentioned, another one in Zamboanga del Sur, this time in Dumingag municipality, ma'am. So those are 8 that were conducted in the various areas.
Mr. Chair, with the manifestation of Colonel Boransing, I respectfully move that we issue subpoena duces tecum to the head of the schools. Are they schools?
No, ma'am. Not all of them are schools. One is Digkalaan.
So what are they if they are not schools?
Like for instance, the first one last May was conducted in a barangay, in a sitio, ma'am. So we
Mr.
just-
Chair, I am moving for the issuance of subpoena duces tecum either to head of the school or barangay, which became the recipient of the Youth Leadership Summit
Yes,
conducted by Colonel Boransing.
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's go to...
There's a motion by Honorable Congressman Luistro to issue a subpoena duces tecum to the head of school or barangay,
Second, Mr. Chair.
subject to the
YLS.
Youth Leadership Summit conducted by Colonel Boransing. Is there any
Second, Mr. Chair.
Duly seconded by Honorable Flores. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
May we request as well, Mr. Chair, that the documents in the possession of Colonel Buransing, which I believe pertains to the Youth Leadership Summit, be submitted to the committee?
Mr. Chair, according to the Freedom of Information Act, since these are confidential, we can share it, but if we follow the act, the Philippine Army or the General Headquarters Armed Forces would like to ask a written request from the committee, which is according to the Freedom of Information Act. Then we will provide.
COMSEC is requested to draft a letter.